Hello, YouTubers. Welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda, here on the 30th day of December 2016, last Friday of the year, not just of the month. This is the second episode that I have out of 3 episodes I'm going to bring you this morning. All the URLs, of course, are in the description of the video, so you can pull them up and do whatever further research you want to do and look at whatever videos are in these articles. The first one out of the 4 that I have here in this episode is off of Western Journalism, and it says Obama signs bill into law after acknowledging that it violates the Constitution. President Obama just did something he promised never to do. Obama acknowledged in signing a statement Friday that the 2017 National Defense Authorization Act violated the Constitution. Then he signed it into law. As I have said repeatedly, the provisions in this bill concerning detainee transfers would, in certain circumstances, violate constitutional separation of powers principles, Obama said Friday. Additionally, Section 1034 could, in some circumstances, interfere with the ability to transfer a detainee who has been granted a writ of habeas corpus. Obama promised, with less than 30 days remaining in his presidency, that will implement these sections in a manner that avoids the constitutional conflict. In 2007, candidate Obama pledged never to take such action. He took the issue of President Bush making signing statements to reinterpret laws very seriously. In a campaign survey with the Boston Globe, December 2007, Obama said, "It is clear abuse of power to use such statements as license to evade laws that the president does not like." He promised at the time that he would not use signing statements to nullify or undermine congressional instructions as enacted into law. But when Obama assumed the presidency, he dramatically reversed course. Friday marked Obama's 37th signing statement. 22 of the president's statements aimed to reinterpret, nullify, or undermine congressional instructions as enacted into law, a clear reversal on his campaign promise. In 2014, PolitiFact officially recognized that Obama broke his pledge to never use signing statements to reinterpret laws. President-elect Donald Trump will have the authority to undo all 37 of Obama's signing statements when he assumes office in less than a month. Anything that Obama has done using his sole executive power can be undone by President Trump on his first day in office, including the policies set forth in these signing statements. John Yoo, a Justice Department lawyer on separation of powers in the Bush administration, told the Washington Times. And there's some interesting comments underneath this if you'd like to pull that article up and take a look at that. The next one we have is off of Liberty Writers News. And this one says, Obama doesn't want anyone to, try that again, it's not written correctly. It says, Obama doesn't want anyone to know this one fact that will ruin his legacy. I left no out of that. Okay, it says, Barack Obama may think he is Jesus Christ, but he is nothing more than a fraud. A new set of statistics has just been released by the Pew Research Center, which proves that America is more divided under Obama than any president in the last 73 years. Despite Obama's bragging that a majority of Americans approve of him, the reality is that 88% of Democrats approve, while a mere 15% of Republicans do. And they've got a chart in here that's called Polarization and Presidential Approval. Supporters say stay loyal, opposition intensifies. So you can pull that up and take a look at that chart. Says, what does this mean? Well, this means that Obama is a super liberal who makes no attempt to communicate with the other side and hear the needs of all Americans. To make the Obama divide even more painfully obvious, a mere 76% of Democrats approved before the election started, when they got scared. And then there is a chart showing the percent who approved of the way Obama is handling his jobs. And they got it broken down by Democrats, Independents, and Republicans. And Democrats have stayed even at 88%. The Independents went from 63 to 58%, and the Republicans went from 34 to 15%. It says, so thank you, Obama, for creating the horribly divided version of America that we have all begun to think of as the new normal. Donald Trump has a real uphill battle to fight. Uniting the country will not be easy and will be impossible to do on his own. That's why it's up to us to listen to the people, even if they are wrong, because so many of them won't give us the same courtesy. If you think Obama should be held accountable for what he's done, then share this with all your friends. The next one is also off of Liberty Writers News, and it says, the gloves are off. George W. Bush just broke his silence on Obama. Says, George W. Bush said these comments in 2015. He called it forever ago about Obama, and we didn't see it then. George W. Bush has begun doing his best to try not to make fun of Obama, but he can't hold it in any longer. According to Bloomberg, George W. Bush delivered a harsh criticism of Obama, saying that he is really naive about Iran and the war against the Islamic State. He said this in a meeting with Jewish donors. Bush said that Obama has led the U.S. to retreat around the world. According to the attendees, Bush said that there is a new president. Bush said the following about the Iran deal. It says, you think the Middle East is chaotic now? Imagine what it will look like to our grandchildren. That's how Americans should view the deal. Right now, we have a president that thinks global warming and white privilege are bigger threats than ISIS. George W. Bush has no respect for Obama, and neither do we. And the final one I have in this particular episode is off of the Conservative Tribune, and I can't make this stuff up. Kim Jong-un's attempt to upgrade Army troops' diet ends in mass diarrhea outbreak. North Korea is one of the most isolated countries in the world. Its leader, Kim Jong-un, severely restricts the flow of information in and out of the country, but some stories still manage to make their way out. North Korea is quite bizarre. Reportedly, in an attempt to feed his troops well, Kim managed to give them all horrible bouts of diarrhea, the UPI reported. The Northern Korean dictator ordered his troops to be given better food, except the food that was delivered to his troops was contaminated and resulted in them being sick. To prepare for war. Under the direction of Kim Jong-un, North Korea People's Armed Forces increased the supply of materials to improve the diet of border guard soldiers, a source told Radio Free Asia, according to the UPI. However, diarrhea has spread among soldiers who consumed the new food supply, and it's causing an uproar. International Business Times noted that iron powder and needles were accidentally mixed in with the food. In addition, sand was put in the soup, and the fish sandwiches had a funny smell. And there's a video in this if you want to pull it up to take a look at that. It says North Korean politics are tricky, but Yahoo reported that this latest mistake has caused many soldiers to become angry with their dear leader, something that might not end well for him. It is doubtful that this diarrhea debacle will lead to a military coup. However, it does continue the long strong of political mistakes committed by the North Korean leader and adds to the general image of him as an incompetent leader. If the dear leader continues to mess up like this, the military may eventually stage a coup, which could have dire repercussions for the region. It is also possible that the incoming Trump administration may be challenged by the North Korean leaders who have enjoyed 8 years of President Barack Obama's foolish foreign policy and might not be too happy with the Trump administration that won't let them continue to run amok. So there you have that one. I can't make it up. I swear to God. Okay, well, if you like what we're doing, give it a thumbs up. Share it around on your social media so everybody gets to enjoy the news. And don't forget to subscribe. Click that little bell And check the box there in the subscribe button so that you get the email alerts every time I do a show. And I got one more for you coming right up. See you then.